welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who's having the most more phenomenal week ever, Bill.
Hi, everyone. That's right. It's so more phenomenal.
I really wish that expression penetrated like the English language more than it did, because it's so great.
I've never heard of it before you mentioned it and made me say it. More phenomenal. I've never heard that.
Before tonight, you've never heard more phenomenal?
No.
No. Seriously?
100%.
It's from Power Rangers.
Well, I know that.
Oh, you can just tell from context clues.
That word morph didn't appear before Power... Well, I take it back.
No, metamorphosis. It's like...
Yeah.
100%. I'm surprised that...
the word metamorphosis didn't get uttered from my lips before the age of 10. I know that much.
No, I mean, that's fair. I think, Power Rangers definitely introduced us to the term morph. But then you have the word phenomenal, which is already half of morph. You just added more phenomenal. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's sort of redundant. But like the Turtles made like cowabunga part of our vernacular.
Yep.
I'm just surprised at how popular Power Rangers was that you don't hear more phenomenal more often. I think it's a good word. I don't know. I think Webster should have added it to their dictionary. I think they dropped the ball.
I think there's hope for it.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about Power Rangers a lot in a moment, but that was going to be the top story. Some weeks you can't really. There's like some weeks a top story doesn't present itself. There's lots of little stories. You're not really sure what to go with first. This week, for most of the week, I was like, all right, we're going to talk about Hasbro abandoning Power Rangers to Playmates. But then today, C2E2, the Chicago Comic-Con. Right. Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yep, Chicago Comic-Con. It's like Chicago C2. It's like Chicago Entertainment. I don't know. Something. Anyway.
Convention 2. Expo 2.
There's 2 C's in there. That's why. Mondo had a panel. Mondo, our good friends Mondo, who we're gonna straighten out this whole thing that we talked about the other week. We're gonna figure it out. Don't worry. We're still good friends. They dropped the bomb. They are going to be doing Real Ghostbuster action figures. Now, let's travel back in time 6 months. A fan, Mondo artist, but a fan of the Real Ghostbusters, posted on his personal Instagram at fanplastic4 renders that he created of the Real Ghostbusters as action figures. Like, it had the articulation cut into the mold or into the model.
Yeah. And
they look fantastic. They look as on model as you could be. He even gave them updated versions of the Ghost pack-ins that the Kenner toys came with. They look great. But like the figures, oh my God, no one has been able to capture these designs. Diamond Select, they gave the figures new heads, but they reused the movie bodies that they had when they did Real Ghostbusters. And those figures, those go for a lot of money on the secondary market. So it'll be very interesting to see if we see a flood of those this week, because the value will probably not increase once these hit the market.
I would have to say so. So nothing. They told us that expect more from San Diego Comic-Con 2024.
Yes, they called us up personally, and they were like,
"They did.
Hey guys, we want to fly you out to cover this, but if you can't make it, somebody else will be there." Yeah. So when this news broke, I think the majority of the people who are familiar with Mondo assumed that these were going to be 12-inch figures, because that's what Mondo has done with their X-Men, with their He-Man, and then I think they also announced Thundercats, and I think those are going to be 12-inch. So we just all were sort of like in our head calculating, all right, so it's like $250 per figure. There's 4 main guys, so $1,000. Let's just earmark that right now that we're gonna have to buy these. But there was a further clarification that these are actually going to be 6.5 inches tall and sold in 2-packs. What?
In 2-packs. What is that?
So that was very exciting to me because I don't have to...
Are they 2-packs with a ghost, or are they 2-packs
that's
team to
that's
team?
That's the question.
Yeah.
So I want to say they're going to be the 2 Ghostbusters in 2-packs because there was a line about depending on how well these sell, we could see more ghosts. So I think they probably want like really good sales right away, and the best way to do that is just to give people the Ghostbusters.
I'm down for that. That's fine. Yeah. I don't mind paying $250 for 2 of these. If that's
I don't. Well, I don't think that's going to be the price.
You don't think so?
Because that Daria set, those figures are like 8 inches, and that was 100 something for the 2 figures. Right. So I hope it's less because this is really Mondo's first time entering the 112 market for figures. Mm-hmm. So this could be the start of something more. Like they could occupy that space that Super 7 currently occupies, and if they do a better job, they could take some of those licenses eventually or get their own or something. So hopefully these will be more affordable. Because
I have high hopes for these. I really do.
This is a dream line. Honestly, for a lot of people, myself included, this is a dream line. And it's been, that cartoon came out in 86, almost 40 years. And we haven't had, I mean, we mentioned the Diamond Select stuff, but it was hard to get. And if you didn't get it right away, you weren't getting it unless you wanted to pay a premium.
We had Mini-Mates, and then we had
Mini-Mates,
reissues.
Yeah, sure.
We had reissues.
Yeah. We had Mego figures. For Real Ghostbusters from Mattel. So it's just been, they've been teasing us for more than 35 years. And now, finally, it looks like we are going to get those perfect Real Ghostbuster action figures.
And I have to say, they probably will be perfect because if you look at the Mondo X-Men animated, those are spot on, to the animation. They're great. So, I'm expecting Mondo, a lot from these.
Because they've only been doing 12-inch, it's been easy to sort of ignore that because that's not anything that I collect. That's definitely a higher priced item. It's a different market. It's like people who buy Hot Toys or statues. It's like it's just different. But now you start bringing that quality down to the 6-inch scale, and then Bill just knocks over. It sounded like a pyramid of cans. Were you like stacking up commemorative cans or something?
I mean, I bring a can down here every episode, so there's at least close to 250 episodes.
Okay, you're going to leave them down here? Yeah.
I just live in trash.
Fun. So I think they did specifically mention that these Ghostbuster figures will be based on what we saw from the Instagram post on Fanplastic 4, Alex Brewer. So, good. I mean, they look perfect as is. I don't know if the articulation like works as is. It looks like they would have V crotches, which is not ideal, but maybe they have like the McFarlane soft crotch and they have better articulation.
Oh, maybe.
But in terms
of
how
much do I need these to do? I don't know how much I need these to actually do.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, I think I would prefer. See, this is where the Super 7 model of aesthetic over articulation comes into play. I would like them to be able to hold the proton packs, but maybe, or I mean the wand, but maybe Mondo will give them different arms to hold the wands, because
I would appreciate that.
That seems to be their model, where they give them different parts. If you look at the Daria figure, just give them different arms. So that's something that we could see. Yes, the
Bane figure.
The Bane figure is wild.
Completely different upper torso with that.
The exclusive comes with a non-articulate, but an entire different torso of him hulking out, like overloaded on Venom.
He's ODing on the Venom. Yes.
He's ODing, and his eyes are popping out of his head. That's crazy. Right. I think that's the exclusive, so you have to get that from their website. But that's something they do where you get extra pieces. Like, you want to get the exclusive. Like that Rogue figure, I think it came with different heads that were only available for the exclusive, like a X-Men Evolution head or something like that. So that's one of the tricky things about Mondo too, is you want to get that exclusive. Like Sideshow used to do, if you bought it from their website, back when we were collecting the Star Wars figures, like when it first started.
Right. Oh my gosh.
You get that gold foil sticker on the front of the box, sideshow exclusive.
All that high anxiety.
Oh my god.
All to get what? Well, I think the Luke came with like the blaster.
Yeah,
like
it was not.
The blaster
It really was stupid, but that's how this all started. And now everything, and Super 7's trying to do it, where if you order from their website, you get the little pack of like repainted things that don't even make sense.
Yeah.
So some companies do a better job. Seems like Mondo does a really good job with the incentive exclusives. So that's good. So this is great. This is something to watch. Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con. We'll learn more.
Right around the corner. So that's exciting.
Really, yeah, it's really coming up. It's like summer. It's here. It's coming.
Yeah.
So, all the stuff is going to start to hit, and we'll get some timelines. And this is definitely at the top of my list of things I'm excited about. So I can't wait to learn more.
I'm right there with you.
This week, Monday, in terms of toy news, this was a big deal. In the pantheon of how business is conducted for toys, whether you care about the brand, this was a big deal because you have Hasbro, who is most well known for making toys, and they took one of the properties that they own, the IP that they purchased within the last 5 or 6 years, and they said, we don't know what to do with this. It's not making enough money for us here. Other company, Playmates in this case, you try. We're done. And I'm talking about Power Rangers. So Power Rangers was purchased from, who had it last? Disney? Nickelodeon? I think Nickelodeon had it. It's
when did
really
Bandai have it?
It bounced. Well, Bandai was. They were the global toy partner, but they didn't. They never owned the IP.
Gotcha.
So Power Rangers was created by Haim Saban. It was then sold to Disney, and there were a few seasons that were produced by Disney. Then Haim bought it back, I believe, and then it ended up Nickelodeon. And then Nickelodeon was like, we're not going to air this anymore. And Hasbro was like, we'll take it. So Hasbro had it. Hasbro still has it. But they don't want to make the toys anymore because they weren't selling enough of them for it to be worthwhile to them. So they had a conference call this week talking about how they're having a lot of problems. And one of the things they identified was that they had sort of an expectation for Power Rangers and it did not meet it. So they decided that they would try giving someone else a shot. And so they are licensing out the brand. So they still get money through that licensing. But then now Playmates gets to make the toys, and then they make the money from the toys. So lots of questions still. Can Hasbro still make Power Ranger products during this contract? Because we sort of abruptly ended the Lightning Collection, which was the collector-focused Power Ranger line. And that encompasses 6-inch action figures. You can see the role-play stuff behind me, the helmets. And this is stuff that's been in stores for 5 or 6 years. And a lot of teams have gone unfinished. So if we never pick this stuff up again, there's just going to be lots of orphaned Rangers out there that don't have their full team. And if you know anything about Power Rangers, the online community is very vocal. They like to state their opinions. And I do wonder if that became a little bit too much for Hasbro. So now Playmates. What do we know about Playmates? They've been making Ninja Turtles for a long time. Definitely more kid focused. They've dipped their toe into some collector stuff, but the lion's share of their product is for kids. And that's not necessarily a bad thing when you're talking about Power Rangers, because Power Rangers, even though we've grown up with it, and some of us, we're 40 or 30 at least, but kids are, these lines are going to succeed because kids like them. And that's where Hasbro had a lot of trouble connecting with their audience. So Playmates, this could be like perfect for them.
It could
but
be,
as a collector,
what media do we have to support this?
Well, that's the other thing. That's the other problem, and that's on Hasbro, because as the IP owner, and still it's their responsibility to create the programming, and they just sort of ended that. And there's nothing on the horizon. Like, we've heard talk of them wanting to do a reboot, but I think a lot of that was coming from a previous employer who's not there anymore.
Okay.
That person wanted to turn Hasbro into this entertainment juggernaut. They bought E1. They were going to make movies, and they really got away from their central core business, which is making toys. So you kind of see them scaling back, and now, like, they still own Power Rangers. I mean, it's a valuable brand, so they don't want to outright get rid of it. It's just at a very low point right now. So we'll see what Playmates is going to do. As a collector, you definitely are not enthusiastic about this, because there's very little chance that Playmates is going to produce a collector item, if they do at all. But if they do make one, the idea that it could be better than something Hasbro was making, unlikely.
It is
inconceivable.
I mean, I can't think of a single Playmates item that's, in that Lightning collection scale.
No. Well, let's think back. Let's just, from Turtles, they've done a lot of the crossovers. They had like Street Fighter, and they had Karate Kid, and then they did that last Ronin Turtle, which was a step up from what Playmates does, but definitely not at a Hasbro level. Like, no way. Mm-hmm. We were like, good job. Good, you're trying.
Yeah.
But, no. But, like I said, Power Rangers needs to get those kids back on board if it has any hope of, getting back to where it once was. So maybe this is a necessary step. And also, Hasbro is not putting out current media. Hasbro just sort of biding their time until they're ready to relaunch. And maybe when that happens, this contract can end, or Hasbro can concentrate on the collector market.
Well, it was just announced, too. It's not like we've seen anything or we can expect anything. We just know that the deal just announced, was inked.
But we don't know how long it's been in the works. Like, they just announced it. I think they timed it because they also had that financial update this week. So they kind of wanted to be like, well, we know numbers aren't looking great, but look, we already did something about it.
Uh-huh.
And also not to look reactionary, where people are like doom and gloom. Yeah, look, we're taking steps. We're being, and we're not being reactive. We're being proactive.
Let's dive in real quick. Interrupt you. You said reactive.
Sure.
Talk real quick about this reaction Armus figure that I picked up.
Okay, so I looked this up because I was not familiar with this character. He's just goo. He's like tar.
Yes, he is. He is like the embodiment of evil, and he held a spot as a villain in the first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and famously killed off a main cast member, Tasha Yar, Denise Crosby's Tasha Yar.
Damn.
So I was just scrolling through Amazon, and I found this for like $7, and I said, I could do $7 for this goofy. It looks like someone just took like the Emperor and dropped like hot crayon wax on top of him.
Yeah, right. It's a bumpy upper.
It's so fun. I don't know. It's just something about this.
I thought it was packaged backward. Backward.
Oh, right. Yeah, I can see that.
This just look like,
that
should be his butt. Yeah.
Oh, man. But so funny. Armus is such a joke, because he just, like, lives on a planet and is lonely and is like, I hate everything. Oh, you can't.
Damn.
Screw you, Armus.
Screw you, Armus. What's wrong? Things aren't that bad.
I know. He's like the butt of the joke on the Lower Decks show. Occasionally they'll prank call him, which is funny.
That's funny. Yeah, that show got canceled, though. So.
I know.
Or
everything is ending. I don't know if
Paramount has no money. They don't have any money. It's a big problem.
Oh, no.
None of these. It's not working out for any of these companies where they spent all this money on streaming, and now they're just basically recreating cable. Like, Disney is going to create always on channels on Disney Plus, where you just pop it on and there's like a schedule. So it's cable. It's literally cable.
That's cable. Okay.
It's cable. They've created cable. They've recreated it.
Oh my. No.
It's like when they were trying to make Batman Beyond, And their WB was like, we want something, but not Batman. Not Batman, not Batman, Batman. And that's what you got. You got Batman Beyond.
Always on.
So that's fun. So, where do we go from here? So the Simpsons, they like to pop the audience every once in a while, to borrow a wrestling term. They like to get some mainstream attention. There was something that happened within the last year. Oh, but Homer wasn't going to hit Bart anymore. That was making news. And I think in the end, that ended up not even being true. I'm not sure what that
he wasn't going to strangle. He wasn't going to strangle Bart anymore.
He wasn't going to strangle him.
Every so often, it was like, remember when Homer, they shifted when Homer was a teenager, and it was like the 90s.
Oh my God! I mean, they have to.
Right.
This has been on the air. 35 years The Simpsons has been on the air, and for a lot of people, myself included, seeing clips in the news this week, hearing the voices was kind of unsettling, because those voice actors have aged 35 years and the voices are not the same.
No, not
They're
one bit.
Struggling to keep going.
At this point, you feel like, and they did it with Chef on South Park so many years ago when Isaac Hayes dropped out of the show, which I recently learned that Scientology actually told him. They made it wasn't necessarily him. I guess he did not have cognitive function at the time, but his son has come out and said that Scientology was like, nope, he's done.
Yep.
I learned that recently. But they had that whole episode where Chef returned after the whole Tom Cruise episode, and they just spliced audio clips of Isaac Hayes together. And it's like, I feel like they could do the same thing with these Simpsons characters at this point. But so many people have... Go on.
No, you go. You finish your
thought.
No.
It just seems like something that they could ask AI to.
Well, exactly, because James Earl Jones recently, before his passing, he's dead, right? Or is he not dead?
No, he's still alive.
He's still alive. Okay, but he gave Disney the rights to his voice, so they can keep doing Darth Vader's voice after he passes. So that's absolutely something that Fox should do if they want to keep running The Simpsons forever.
You mentioned that Marge sounds more like her sisters now.
She sounds like her sister.
Like she didn't at first back in the 90s and early 2000s, but now she sounds more like... That took its toll, huh?
A day. I mean, that voice is so gravelly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I bet she regrets doing that voice from the start, because that just has to mess up your vocal cords.
Right. Oh, my.
It's just, nobody can do that voice as long as she's done it and not have there be an impact on the way you speak.
Yeah.
So, what's her name? Is that No. What's the name of the actress that does Marge?
It's not Nancy Cartwright. It's not Smith.
That's
That's going to drive me crazy.
So the fact that you can't think of it is interesting, because I saw a clip with her from early on. I think it was on Letterman, and he was like, do the voice, and she didn't want to do it. And when she finally did the Marge voice, she covered her face, because she did not want people to see the voice coming out of her face, because she thought it would break the illusion. Oh, so I don't know if a clip exists of her doing the voice where you can clearly see her face.
Oh, wild.
So there's just there's something, I don't know if that's like a part of how, I don't know why that is, why she made that choice, and what that, what else she feels strongly about, but it is interesting. So the reason The Simpsons is in the news this week is that they killed off one of their, not main characters in any way, but one of their characters.
Yeah,
and obviously
Maud Flanders. Julie Kavner. Right. Julie Kavner, just to circle back. Julie Kavner.
Put some respect on it. So, so obviously all the news sites that were running, like Simpsons, longtime Simpsons character killed off.
It was so very clickbaity stuff. Like, who could it be? Is it Apu? Is it Chief Wiggum? Did he finally choke on a donut? Is it Super Nintendo Chalmers? Who is it?
And who it was is one of the barflies from Moe's Bar, and they gave him a name. He probably always had a name, but even writers from the show,
I think he always had a name.
even someone that worked on the show tweeted out that he didn't know the guy's name, and he worked on the show for like 20 years. So Larry the Barfly, rest in peace. And
dead at 35.
Dead at 35. Yes, he
right?
looked terrible. It looked terrible for 35. Yeah. Did he have a voice actor? Did he ever get lines?
I don't know if he ever got lines, but talking about real quick, not to even. My wife and I we watched the first episode of The Sopranos last night.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And in doing so, my wife found out that James Gandolfini, when he started making that show back in 1999, was her age. Oh. Now, my wife is 37, and she was like, wait, what?
What?
James Gandolfini was 37 in 1999. Wow. And her brain exploded.
And now he's
couldn't
dead.
believe
and
it.
Now he's dead.
Sure, he passed.
So, what does that say?
But she just couldn't believe it because he didn't look like he was 37 at the time.
Well, that's one of those weird things where people today look younger. Like, look at the Golden Girls. They were in their friggin' 50s. We're 10 years away from being the gauge of the Golden Girls.
I feel like it was a lack of sunscreen at the time. I really do.
I think it's more than that. Because even go back to kids in high school. They look like they
course.
were in their 30s.
They do. Yes.
It's one of those crazy phenomenons that I really feel like people haven't been able to explain, other than like the clothing is different and the hairstyles are different.
Right.
But it's bizarre.
I know you and I are both 40. I feel like I don't look 40, but
I don't even know what 40 means anymore, because I'm like, in 10 years I'll be 50, and 50 seems old. Like, we should all be presidents of companies by then. Or like retired, living with 3 other old ladies in Boca Raton.
Floating around in the carousel.
Like in
Logan's
Wall-E?
Run. No, Logan's Run.
Okay. Because they off you at a certain age, right?
They off you at 30, so we'd have been long gone.
Oh, damn.
I always like making fun Logan's Run references. I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I saw for the first time, although I wasn't paying attention, and I'll explain why. Princess Bride last night was our movie with the family. And so here are my questions. Have you seen Princess Bride?
I can't say that I have.
That's fine. We're on the same page with it.
Okay.
But, multiple companies have made action figures for it. McFarlane.
Oh, yes.
Super 7.
What the heck was I thinking of? Yeah, I think I was thinking of The Princess Diaries.
Okay.
Weird.
Well, that I've definitely seen. That's my favorite movie.
No, I can still say that I don't have a good recollection of The Princess Bride.
Yeah, so it just never made sense to me. I'm like, I have no interest in this, like, swashbuckling. And then, like, my big question was, why is it framed as a man reading a bedtime story to Kevin Arnold, Fred Savage? Savage, why? Right. And I was like, okay, well, watching it, there must be a part where, like, the worlds intertwine, like Wizard of Oz or something. But no, not at all. It's just framed as a bedtime story. And I guess the book it's based on is exactly the same, where it's somebody reading a book written by a fictional author. So, okay. I mean, that's fine. I'm sure at the time, it's one of those things, like, you've heard people quote it. Like, I quoted it earlier, where inconceivable. Like,
sure.
I'm sure seeing it for the first time, and this was the 80s, I'm sure it's different seeing it now for the first time. Like, people watching E.T. for the first time today would be like, this looks like crap. Because you got to see it when it comes out, or you don't get the same impact.
Yeah, but it's I'll cry. I'll cry at E.T. I've done it before.
Oh, really? Well, it's very sad. He gets all disgusting looking, dehydrated.
He does. Oh, I hate when he gets all chalky white.
Yeah, that's gross.
It's so weird. You know what? What I hate the most is when they find him in the creek bed, and the raccoons are sniffing on him. That's what I hate. I don't remember that. See, I haven't seen it all the way through. That's disturbing to me. The older brother finds him on the bike. He's riding the bike, and he finds him in the creek bed, passed out, and there's a couple raccoons sniffing on his corpsey body.
Was he just walking away? Like, how did he end up there?
I think he was trying to go back to the communicator that him and Elliot had made, and then he winds up in the kitchen when the government shows up.
He can never got those little legs. He probably couldn't walk very fast. You think he was smarter than that. Like, if you can fly.
I learned something about the gentleman who was in E.T.
Oh, he's got no lower half, right?
Yeah. Did you know that?
I saw that photo where he's like at a convention. He had a little skateboard he was riding.
I was like, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
But
that is
okay.
a very specialized position.
Sure.
I wonder what they would have done if they didn't find this half man.
I don't know.
Yeah. Man. Back in the 80s and the 70s, like, if you were a little person or half a person,
they'd put you in anything.
That was the time. That was the time to be
They had a little person whipping around Jabba the Hutt's tail in the in Return of the Jedi. He was there.
Now you got Hugh Grant being an Oompa Loompa. Like, oh,
I know.
I bet it's infuriating.
It has to be. I'd be
the
pissed.
Acting community, the little acting community. Yeah, I'd be pissed. It's like in the Seinfeld episode with Mickey, where he's so mad.
Yeah, when they accuse him of lifting, Seinfeld. Or when they do they recast? Oh, isn't that what is going on with that?
The kid was growing, so he put lifts in his shoes.
He put lifts in his shoes.
So his friend, his little person community, like that was outrageous. They were like,
hey, we heard some stuff about you, right? Yeah.
Did you see this week that somebody posted an unaired pilot or an unaired episode of Seinfeld called The Bet? No. Which I thought The Bet was the episode where they like master of your domain.
Already. Correct.
Right. So whatever this one was, it's out there now on the Internet Archive, and you can. I don't know why it wasn't produced. Maybe it was too hot for TV or something. Oh. But someone was saying that they could see it as like an early version of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like that's like they really saw the inspiration there. So that's interesting. Jerry Seinfeld's popping up all over the place. He's doing that movie about Cheetos, right? Okay. The Flaming Hot Cheetos, which I thought was like a true story, but I think it's either completely made up or it's like really exaggerated.
Yeah. Is he going to do B-Movie 2?
Right, he's going to do B-Movie 2. And then there was he's doing another movie. I think it's different from this one because he was quoted this week as talking about the finale of Mad Men and how he wasn't satisfied with the finale of Seinfeld, but he really liked the finale of Mad Men, which is ironic because people do not like the finale of Mad Men. That is not like that whole final season is not very popular. So it's interesting that he sees that as like the best finale of all time. But apparently,
feature-length American Express commercial movie.
Yeah, I mean, people just line up to give this man money. They just want to like be around Jerry Seinfeld. He doesn't even
need money. He just makes money.
He doesn't need money.
He doesn't.
He's got all the money he needs. He's got his teenage wife with a cookbook that she stole.
Oh, allegedly. Wow. That sounds like a movie in its own right.
I know they should do the story of
him. The Corpse Bride or whatever the heck you were watching.
The Corpse Bride, the Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, yeah.
Corpse Bride, not my favorite either. I really feel that. Although watching back Nightmare Before Christmas, I don't love that one either.
No, but
that Hot Topic crowd likes it.
Yeah, that sits higher than like the James and the Giant Peach and the Corpse Bride. There.
I guess we're just saying that stop motion movies are not the best. Like story is definitely secondary to the puppets. Yeah, that's too bad. Well, we're going to talk more about puppets in a moment, but first, these words from our... What are they called? Sponsors. Okay, for real this time, this is the end. This is the final set of Simpsons from Super 7. Like, the last time, it was the first half. Now I got the final two. So, we have Radioactive Man. Which nobody asked for. Just...
No.
If you're
a big fan,
if you're a real big fan, he at least comes with the comic, which is a nice sort of like bendy material. If this was right near Wolf Castle, fine.
Yeah,
but
I guess he pairs well with Bartman. I mean, you could put him with Bartman and kind of have something going on.
Did Bartman did they interact? Like, did he exist outside of the comic?
I don't believe they ever interacted, but I mean, again, the Bartman character itself played prominently during the episode with the Radioactive Man #1.
I mean, that's fine. I do wonder if Super 7 gave that any thought, where if like characters were pairing off. Now, I do like the cape. The cape is a very nice fabric, and it's wired, so you can get some very dynamic poses there. It's kind of weird the way it's engineered to fit there, because you pop off the head and you can see it's like it's got like the crest here, and then that fits over the hole, and then you pop the head over that. So then you got sort of like way too much front showing. So it's just kind of weird. I don't know. Not my favorite. Definitely not a figure that I really care about too much. Now, a figure this is probably my favorite figure from the set, or I thought it would be. And this is Dedrick Tatum. This is the Simpsons answer to Mike Tyson. I don't know if they asked Mike Tyson to be on the show, and he was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. So this is what we got. He fought him. Now, this is a very large figure. He's taller than king-size Homer. Let me undress him here. I'm going to take off his robe. His head fell off. So that'll happen. Sometimes the heads will fall off.
Just like that.
While I'm undressing him...
He was KO'd.
K.O. While I'm undressing Dedrick Tatum, let's talk about the quality of this final set. Now, I didn't have any issues with King-Size Homer or Devil Flanders, although I will say that the legs did fall off of Devil Flanders, but I just popped them back on. I didn't really consider that.
His cape also broke.
That was my fault because I tried to take it off, so I'm not going to say that was their fault.
I'm just saying.
It would have been nice if it was removable. Dedrick Tatum has some issues. Now, Michael Crawford got his before me, and he got the arms flipped so that the Mr. McGregor
he got two right arms is what he got.
What is it? Mr. McGregor with arm for a leg, or leg for an arm, and arm for a leg.
What is it, my dear friend Mr. McGregor? Legs for
his
arm.
We'll give him a different head now. So he had flipped arms. My arms are correct, but where the shoulder meets the torso is so tight that when I went to move it, it actually scraped the plastic. So it looks like he has stretch marks because it was just rubbing against it. And it's like, it's definitely going to break the joint up here, the seal, because it's too tight. I don't know how they made it so tight. It's terrible.
How come the head doesn't want to stay on? That thing's bobbling.
It's just not very tight. I think the hole is too deep. The peg doesn't go up far enough. So you never get that satisfying pop. Yeah, it's like on there with a wish and a prayer. But so from a design standpoint, we got some issues here. But the figure is beautifully sculpted, and I wish that his arms moved nice because it would be fun to play with. People, oh my god, this is worse than I remember. It's just terrible. Like, it's not even paint.
Disintegrating in your arms.
It really is. People, when I posted the picture, it got a lot of responses, which I was not expecting. And I didn't even tag Super 7. I just said, like, a little snug, and people started sharing it.
You're probably saving some people some money here who are like, I'll get this, and then say, but that's maybe the thing. I won't get this.
Well, I know. I mean, like, I guess you need all the information to make your purchases decisions. But it's like, look at this. It could be a really great figure. You get some really nice poses out of there. Like, the torso has some nice movement. People were like, "Oh, you gotta email Super 7. They'll send you a replacement." And I'm like, at this point, you think they even made any extras? Like, this is the final wave, and it's
right. What's going to be any different from the one that you were just the first person to actually point this out?
I do wonder.
It's probably.
I do wonder. Yeah, because it doesn't seem like something that could be different. It's just how it's engineered. It's too tight.
Too tight.
But visually, I mean, you don't see it when you have the arms like this, and you can put the entrance jacket on, and you don't see them. So, like, it's still a good figure, but it's a $55 figure.
For now,
it's like, well, this series, I don't know what's going on with them because they keep popping in and out of stock on Entertainment Earth. So I don't know if they produced less or fewer or what's going on. But I would imagine they made less of these. Definitely fewer than Series 1. That goes without saying. But that's it. That's the end of Super 7. Anticlimactic ending, I guess. Yeah.
Came in, what is it? What is that phrase?
All sound like a lion.
Came in like a lion, went out like a sheep.
Sheep.
Something like that.
If it wasn't for the fact that these figures are having problems, I don't think we even really would have heard about them.
No.
Because we're not hearing very much about Series 2 and 3 because they didn't have any issues. So maybe this is like intentional. Like people will talk about them. Definitely not. Definitely not a good business plan.
Like you said, these might have been rushed out, and not.
But there was no reason to. There was no reason to. Well, maybe there was because, they had a year. It's not like they. I mean, the deal ended, but they were still in production. I don't know. Right. We'll never know. That was another thing that people were talking about. How Super 7 does not address issues publicly.
No, they keep them very secret.
They don't do damage control on Twitter at all, like some other companies do. Not at all.
Yeah.
But the one time I did ask for a figure to be replaced, they did come through. So I will say that. So maybe I will reach out and be like, hey, are there versions of this figure that are not fucked up? Can I have one of those? That would be great.
That would be perfect.
Because this is, and it's a fun figure too that you can put with like, he's your Mike Tyson in your Punch Out scene or whatever. You can have him fight Ryu. Like, there's a lot you can do with this character, this figure. He also comes with the worst. Before we do that, I just want to say he comes with the worst championship belt of all time. Oh. Can barely bend. It's not intended to put on his waist.
No, it looks like a watch.
It looks like a watch. He comes with alternate hands that have a hole so that he can hold the belt above his head. So it's like one specific pose he can do. But I
bet he would look good with with that, because was it the Toy Fair exclusive boxing Homer? I bet he would look good next to that.
Oh, the Playmates version?
The Playmates one, yeah, because he's an imposing size. I think it would look good next to that.
I think he looks great, just like on your miscellaneous shelf. Like I would love to put him behind me.
Who's that guy? Is that a cartoon Mike Tyson? It's like, yep, that's who it is.
That's who it is. Yeah, essentially. Yeah. All right, you talk now.
Let me ask you a question, Paul. What's your stance on Lego?
I try not to stand on them because they hurt.
They do hurt. Yeah, you're right.
You'd get those slippers, those official Lego slippers.
Oh, are they official Lego?
I think they're. I don't know if they're official.
Can they pick up the Lego as you're walking? You
get stilts. Yeah, the more you walk on them, become stilt man.
I had no idea. Okay. Yeah. So what about Lego? Other companies that produce bricks? Because I know there's some people who are just like, I love Lego.
I really think it comes down to the sets. It's a fun set, because the Mega Blocks, they do some fun things.
They do.
Like Pokemon and stuff. I definitely own some of those. But I think nothing quite gives you the feeling of Lego. It's hard to recreate that Lego, that snap.
They get a lot. Lego gets a lot of the big license. They get Batman, Star Wars, Harry Potter, all that stuff. Harry Potter. Yeah. They got the money for that. So, my daughter calls them knockoffs, and she gets into the Lego Friends, but at Christmas time we found some really nice sets that integrate with those. Good. But then, as I'm searching, I found a line geared more towards adults, and it comes in this. They're from a company called Fun Hole. Sexy as can be.
Wait a minute. What you were at the adult superstore when you found these?
See?
Fun Hole.
Fun.
Is this
hole?
Is this like a American translation company? It's like this is what they a Chinese company translated it into what they thought would sound right. Fun Hole.
Fun
hole with a W.
So I found the Castle on the Cliff set.
Wow, look at that. That does look
for $60, and it is 16 and a half inches tall.
That's fun.
It has a light up feature. It has.
Ooh.
It just looked like a fun build, and plus
does it have minifigures?
Some of them. So that's the thing with these is some of them do have minifigures.
That's important.
But the way that they're situated, their arms are kind of in a C shape.
In front of them.
They're in front of them, they're kind of. I can't do it on screen.
Why?
They're just kind of in an embrace, like a hug.
Does that help?
I don't know.
Attach to things?
I don't know. I don't know if they're articulated down, so they come up. I'm not doing it right, but yeah.
It's like when they made wrestling Lego called Stack Down. They made their fists to have the input, so you could have them stack each other. It's very bizarre looking. That looks great. So, where do you buy such a thing?
Amazon has the direct links to all of them. There's so many, and this one just kind of spoke to me. I don't know why. I think it was just like the water feature it had at the base.
Yeah,
it lights
perilous up there.
It does look perilous.
Yeah.
So it just looked like it was a fun build. About what was it? Over 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, fun.
So
for
it's
your
not like you're getting
family.
And then
fun for your whole family.
Fun for my whole family. Right.
Wow. Yeah, that name. I hope they knew what they were doing. It wasn't like just a poor translation. Like, damn.
Like, I don't understand why it's not whole fun, but it's fun hole.
Well, there you go. That would have made more sense. Is the hole because Lego bricks have a hole, and then you fill the hole with the male part, the male and female parts of Legos.
Put it in the fun hole. Which one?
Shove it up your fun hole.
The Lego one, you dirty bird. What the hell?
You dirty bird.
Except for children, for God's sakes.
Are birds dirty? I feel like they're a clean species.
Some of them can get mites.
Well, that's
I feel like this is the dirtiest bird. I guess, I don't know.
The cleanest bird has to be the vulture because it cleans up the road.
Crows do that as well, though. And
crows are amazing. I still want a pet crow. I want it to bring me Lego pieces.
You want like the magpie is what you want.
I'll take whatever I can get at this point.
The magpie
raven.
Steals. Nah.
We read a book in school once about the falconer, and I've always wanted a falcon to like sit on my shoulder and just go attack my enemies.
Just get that glove. I like the guy. Have you ever seen the TikTok of the guy that like trained his falcon to just like almost like drive by?
No,
he'll like open the window and see like a pest animal, and he'll have the bird, and he'll open the window, and the bird will come out, kill the pest animal, and then fly back into the driving car.
No, please send me that link immediately.
I will find
it. That's amazing. Yes. I've seen videos of people like in boats, and the seagulls are flying at the same speed. So
I would say seagulls are pretty dirty, gross.
Yeah, they seem like anything you like
nasty seabird.
They all poop on your car, like if you park there. You said something that triggered something that I forget. Oh, we were talking about Falcons. There's a G.I. Joe character. What's his name? Falconer? What is his?
Falconer.
Is that his name?
Yep, famously.
Somebody posted pictures this week of like his headpiece and something else from him.
His armor. He's got his rough.
Yeah, alluded that this could be an upcoming classified figure and maybe even a Comic-Con exclusive. Now, we have no confirmation. I saw that.
No, but I can see it happening.
This is real. I can see it happening too, yes. But like, he comes with the bird. He came with like a fabric wing set, the original one, right?
He did.
That felt piece.
Yep, the felt, and then at the end you could attach it to his. No, he had little cuffs that you could put to the ends of his hands. So
I thought it went around his thumb. And I chewed off all their thumbs. Or I bent their thumbs trying to get the guns in their hands.
I thought it had a little clip.
It might have. Something had
but
it.
But I could also see thumb. It also could have gone through the thumb.
Yeah. Something had something going through the thumb, and I ruined mine because I broke because the thumb, it like you pull it back a certain point, it creates that seam, and then it fell off, and then it was like black plastic underneath. It was weird.
Every G.I. Joe had to have a corresponding villain.
Is that true?
I feel like
the wackier ones, I guess.
Right. So like I think the Falconer went on with like Shipwreck.
What?
Shipwreck also had a bird.
It's a loose association. Oh, because he had a bird. I guess.
He had a bird. Yeah.
That's fair.
The big boa figure famously was supposed to be against Rocky.
Yeah. Man, we really missed out. Man, that would have been something. We did. I love those boxing figures, and I didn't like boxing at all, but just the idea of having the gloves, like that was so much fun. I don't know.
Do you remember? Well, who made the Rocky? You remember? Was it Mattel, or was it Jax? And this is going way back.
Like
do
later,
you remember the Rocky line?
Yes,
after the movies, the meat and all that. Who made those? Was it
Jax? Because they use the same bodies from like the WWE Classic Superstars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jeremy Padawer was like, "Hey."
KB was still around when those were out.
Yeah, I think they had some exclusives. I think the meat was exclusive to KB.
Okay.
Do you remember that? Meat. Like the meat he would punch. It got its own. Yeah. It's got its own SKU.
It had its own figure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toy.
Wow. It's anthropomorphic meat. It can be its
anthropomorphic meat.
So, I kept seeing this Megatron this week.
Oh.
This self-transforming Megatron from
RoboSyn.
And are they the ones that do the Buzz or the Lightyear?
I feel like, yes, they've done Lightyear.
They got the market cornered on the robotic
But he
toys.
requires a stand. That's the thing.
Right, because he would fall the fuck over.
Right.
Plus, he's got some like flying poses,
he's got some
it wouldn't
stuff.
work if he was like feet on the ground.
So,
but this Megatron, everyone seems really excited about him. But it also opened up the conversation about, will we ever see gun Megatron again?
The answer is probably no.
Probably no, which is so ironic when you think about in this country how like it's probably easier to buy a gun than to buy a Transformer. But like, you know, I guess smartly toy companies are like, no, we don't want any part of that. I mean,
sure.
Hasbro is putting orange tips on their Ghostbuster Proton Pack. Like they don't, they don't want any, we don't want any part of that. But
I don't know, keep going. It's good.
So this transforming Megatron, you were saying that this is more impressive than the Optimus.
I feel like watching them side by side, and I've seen a lot of videos, and they always seem to be just like in somebody's nice house, like in the living room,
the island,
and they're like fighting
kitchen.
or on the island. Yeah. They almost look. If you look at Megatron versus the Optimus Prime, Optimus almost looks a little too, like, jerky.
Okay. Yeah.
And the Megatron, once it transforms and it's moving, it almost looks like something's like assisting it. Like there's like some computer generated like rendering, making it look a little bit more fluid.
Okay.
And it's just very impressive because it almost looks fake.
Right. Like you think somebody animated.
It's wild.
It's not a real product you can buy.
Right.
The part that gets me though is when it transforms from a tank to a robot. It has that moment where he's just laying flat on his back, but he's like fully out. You know? And it's just so funny. And he pops up and he's like, hey guys, it's me, Megatron.
What do you want?
I don't know. I mean, they keep making them, so people must be buying them, but they're so expensive. $800, I think this
$800. Optimus is only, I think, $600. And I say only, but still.
Well, only. Well,
I feel like, though...
That Buzz was like $1,000, I think.
Sure. I feel like the novelty of it, like that Sphero BB-8.
Yes.
I feel like the
people
novelty
are finding for $2 at Goodwill
wears
now.
off. That's sad. I think it wears off after a while, because it's like, what are you going to be at the house one night and just talk to your Optimus?
I mean, it's like any toy. It becomes a statue. Or like, you know, it's these high-end statues. It's like, you just sort of have it. It's a conversation piece. Somebody like, new comes to your house, you show them the Megatron. Like, all right.
You want to see the Megatron? Right after you play with my fun hole, you want to see my Megatron?
Yeah, when we were done playing with the fun hole, we're going to break out Megatron. He self-transformed.
Nice.
So I'm in favor of advancing this technology because I want real-life small soldiers.
I was telling you this,
Gimme.
Right?
That's
I don't know how
want
advanced it needs to be. I really don't at this point. Because you don't need the transforming feature, but you don't need the transforming feature. They got to be able to walk
and not fall over. We need some
So they make a non-transforming Bumblebee.
Technology.
Have you seen the Bumblebee figure that they've done?
I've seen Bumblebee.
So he's non-transforming because they probably couldn't get either the license for the bug or they can't fit the robot into the bug. But it gives you a good idea of what these toys can do, or these robots at this point.
Let me look at this. Okay, it's G1. This is so plain, though.
It is.
Yeah, this isn't exciting to me. No, I want the small soldiers, but I want them to be able to, like, you know, like Boston Dynamics has that robot that they always fight, and he can like self-steady himself and pick himself up once he falls over. That's what I want.
I want that flame-throwing dog that they had. You can buy. Have you seen that?
Small soldiers? Oh, from Boston Dynamics?
You can just buy the dog that has a flamethrower attached to it.
Why are flamethrowers so readily available? Like Elon Musk was selling a flamethrower. Like, why is this a thing? What are you practically using this for? Or even impractically? What do you? You're gonna burn your house down,
Right?
Flamethrower, even unless you're fighting aliens because you don't want the acid blood all over you.
It does
I don't
seem
get
like
it.
an odd thing to just keep perpetuating. It's like, this is a piece of technology that should just go away.
Right.
No one should intentionally be firing off this much fire.
You need this. What's we doing? Well, I mentioned aliens. Something happened this week with the movie. Did NECA announce they're doing toys for it, or there's like video of the practical face hugger running around, like RC face hugger? Did you see that?
Well, it was Alien Day, this previous 4/26. So
damn, I forgot to celebrate. I didn't get you anything. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Darn it.
Damn it. Next time.
I think NECA announced that they will be doing figures for the upcoming Alien Romulus movie.
Oh, shocker.
Which, no surprise. So,
yeah, no surprise.
That's fine.
Does the alien look like an alien? When does this movie take place?
It takes place after the first movie, but before the second movie.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. So, this is
so no Ellen Ripley. She's lost in space.
That's fine. I think that's fine. Who are where, do we know anything more? Like what planet it takes place on? Or
no, I don't know much.
We don't know anything. And then, aren't they doing a TV series that takes place before Prometheus?
I thought that was the Alien Romulus to begin with.
Something I saw.
So I have no idea.
They were going to do something that takes place before Prometheus.
But what happens after Prometheus?
Everything. Prometheus started it.
I am Prometheus Sherman, the last man on Earth. So alone. So alone.
Is that also?
Do you remember that?
Is that from Logan's Run?
From the Critic. No, the Critic.
Oh, the Critic.
Yeah,
no, I don't remember that.
My one. You know what? My one critic quote that I can recite.
It stinks. The Critic.
That too,
how they didn't bring the Critic back when media is rife for parody is just beyond me. Like that.
I mean, literally, John Lovitz is doing nothing except daytime game shows.
Nothing.
He's sitting on a chair, cracking jokes about the first answer being a joke to every little game show. Have you watched some of those cringy afternoon game shows?
No, I work. I have a job.
I work too. Stop it. What do you think? I don't work? I guess I just work with a place that also has a
vacation.
TV. I'm always on vacation. Oh man, I miss vacation.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like Deal or No Deal, or not? I mean, like Price is Right. Those kind of shows.
Yeah, similar to that, but like
he's
what is
he's
it?
The celebrity guest on them.
They have like a panel of like 6 or 7 celebrities.
It's a lot of celebrities.
And then like 2 contestants, and they're like, we paneled like 60 women, and they said they'd want their man too. And then the celebrity always makes a joke about it, but then like they correct themselves and they say, well, actually, it's probably they want to do this.
That was one of my trademark jokes because you see, I'm a comedian.
Right.
That sounds like the when they were in the tic-tac-toe board, whatever that show was called.
Yes. Yeah. Hollywood Squares.
Yes. I miss daytime programming. Is Jerry Springer's dead, right?
He passed, yep.
But do they still play his show like in memoriam?
I don't know if they do. Or
is that disrespectful because at the end he became like a mayor?
Do they still play Maury? Because I know Maury just ended, but he didn't pass. But I feel like Maury could just keep going.
So they had to pass the mantle on. Like there's got to be a new person doing these shows.
It works.
Similar.
They should.
I don't know. Ever since everything went down with Ellen, the state of talk shows. Like when I was a kid growing up, I would watch Conan. I would even watch Leno, and then there was Letterman.
Stayed away from him.
That was it. And there was somebody after Conan. Like, I don't know who that was. They kept changing it, but then something happened where everybody got a show.
What about daytime talk shows? Because that was the other big thing. Because you had your Oprah.
Well, they had Rosie O'Donnell.
You had Oprah,
Ricky
Jenny
Lake,
Jones,
sure. Jenny
Sally
Jones.
Jesse Raphael.
All the Turtles. Yep. Yeah, it was crazy. And now I feel like there are even more shows.
Kelly Clarkson show, Drew Barrymore show.
Everybody gets a show. The View, The Talk, The Chew.
We have our own show.
We have a show. They're just handing out shows left and right.
Shows all over.
If you don't have a show, what is wrong with you? How do you interact with society if you don't have a show? You haven't made it
unless you have a show.
I don't even understand how you live your life without like thinking about what am I going to do on the show today. It's like, I don't have a show. What do you mean you have a show?
I think about it constantly. I'm like,
absolutely.
I have to reserve all my. Everyone always asks why I'm so quiet at work, and I say I have to save my speaking voice.
All week long, I'm like, what am I going to say for the fun fact about Bill?
Yeah.
And then I always end up like changing it right before I say it.
It's okay. It's so fresh.
It's so fresh. Yeah. You don't know what I'm going to say. I don't even know.
I don't either. I think it's great. It's just every single week. I don't think there's ever been a repeat.
No.
It's like the Simpsons chalkboard with the couch gag.
That's right. Yeah. Someday historians will go back. They'll listen to every show and they'll learn hundreds of facts about you.
Some true, some not.
To the first, well, who's to say? By the end, they could all be true.
Oh, yeah.
So, SH Fig Arts, they're doing a Jar Jar Binks figure.
They are.
I guess in conjunction with re-releasing.
That comes out this week. I'm super pumped.
That's good.
Got my tickets for the May the 4th.
Oh, that's May 4th coming up.
I'm going. I took the day off.
A big time for days based after movies. I guess we missed Mario Day. That was in March.
That was. We missed Alien Day. That was in April.
That just happened, right?
But we missed it.
This stretch, the first quarter of the year is big for these dates that are movie
funny
people.
Date. Yeah.
You sent me a picture of this Jar Jar figure where he's eating like a frog or something.
Yes.
And I'm like, is that
desert toad thing?
Is that Grogu? Like, I'm sure
it was funny.
I'm sure there are some people that will buy these for some fun figure photography because the
what's cool about these is it's just the faceplate comes off. So
yeah, I guess that's fine.
Yeah,
as long as it stays on there and you don't like see the scene, like if it's unseemly.
Sure. Well, I got that indie. This is that indie here.
Yeah,
he does fairly well, and that's all faceplate.
Yeah, but it never works.
Go indie.
We haven't really seen that from American companies yet. The faceplate.
No, we have not.
They're afraid. I think they are afraid that.
Well, they can make more money with a whole new figure, of course.
Well, that's the thing too. I guess that's a good point. Yeah. We'll just make another
multiple
SKU.
Variants.
There you go. Yeah, you got
Darth Vader with a removable helmet.
McFarlane's the worst because he'll do the unmasked head, and that's a separate figure. And that's the only difference is that the mask is on. Like, you won't give you the alternate head. Like, come on, Todd.
I sent you a photo of that Frostbite Joker, and I said to myself, what is this from?
What is it from? His imagination?
I don't get it.
From anything.
But why?
They were just like, hey, Todd, look, we can do clear plastic and then paint some white on it. All right, let's do the entire Rogue Gallery. But that's fine. People like to buy things that look neat. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be. Maybe someday they'll do a show where they're all clear and made of ice, and then it'll make sense.
Sure.
And everyone will go back to eBay and be like, I got to get that Joker.
It's so wild.
You put something on the list about Beast Lab. What is this?
I did, but you know what? Then I didn't incorporate any of the Beast Lab stuff. So I'll just talk about it real quick.
You just talk about it, yeah.
I'm very
primarily
excited.
Audio.
I don't need props or anything like that.
Not Carrot Top up here, no.
I think, right. Give me a something here. No. But no, I think you and I talked about Beast Lab being very excited for our kids to play with it, and then try. My goal has always been to try to get the remaining Beast Lab characters for as cheaply as possible. All the figures. So we're coming to the end because the Toxic Tiger. There's 8 total.
Oh shit!
For this first series.
How much did this set cost? Or how much did it cost originally? 80?
I believe it was 70. 70.
Let's say it's 100. You said it cost you $800. You could buy 2 Mondo figures. It would have cost
you $800, right?
Or you could buy that one Megatron or 8 Beast Labs. What do you want?
That's true. So we were graciously gifted a sample from Moose. Which, thank you.
Our best friends. Thank you, Moose.
They are best friends. Mm-hmm. They're gonna come back in this afterwards because I'm gonna ask them for one more.
That's right. They need to complete your collection.
Yes. I want my collection complete. Or my son
I wonder if you're the
least.
first to get this close to completing the collection. I think we should make a big deal about this. That you
we should
are on the precipice of completing the inaugural Beast Lab collection.
Yes. So my goal
Beast
for my
Lab
son,
collab. Let's call it that.
Because Beast Lab made
brand
such an impact on my son over the holiday season.
Yes.
Really set the tone for everything. Really allowed him to play with toys like toys should be played with.
Sure. With his fun hole.
Yeah.
Goes great with your fun hole.
Fun hole.
There's fun hole. Yeah, see, it
fun
makes
hole.
sense.
Yes. But yes, so the most difficult ones to get were Amazon is the only place you can get the cats. And they come in like a blind package. And he picked up the Panther character. He got that for his birthday. But we were missing the Toxic Tiger. The Toxic Tiger came in the mail today. I was able to get that figure for a decent price. After Christmas, I was able to kind of wheel and deal and get some of the shark and the shark and one other, the snake, the python.
Whoa.
For a small amount of money, and then I got the Carnage Croc. Off
It was
of
a croc?
eBay. Yes.
What?
That was the Target exclusives were the reptiles. So you got the Chaos Cobra and the Carnage Croc.
Wow.
So currently, all he needs is the Raging Raptor. And my plea to Moose.
Make this boy whole.
Yes.
Make his fun whole.
Yeah,
Please,
great.
Moose.
Please, Moose.
This poor boy only has 7 Beast Slabs.
He only has 7 Beast Slabs.
He only has 7 Beast Slabs. He needs one more.
He needs one more.
Please. His only Christmas wish is for last Christmas.
Have all 8
other
Beast
things
Slabs.
he wants this year. And if you want to send us next year's Beast Slabs, I'm sure you're doing it again. It was a big hit. Everybody loved them.
They were great.
I'd like to see the evolution of Beast Lab. If they
I really would
scale it back a little bit or something.
Beast Lab Light, Beast Lab Minis.
I would love to see a collaboration between Beast Lab and Ghostbusters, where the Beast Lab is the trap, and then the trap springs open, and like a ghost toy pops out. That'd be a lot of fun. Look at there. Hire us for an R&D. We got some ideas.
I had some great ideas. I had that idea. I can't even
share.
No, because it's such an idea.
Gujitsu thing.
Yeah, that's
okay. We gotta save that. We'll save that for a special episode.
That's very. We should make it happen. I'm telling you.
We could sell it to Dollar Tree. Where are we gonna sell this rip-off product?
I couldn't even call it a rip-off because the execution of it is so unique.
Do you just sell the?
Let's stop right now. We're not even
talking
about it.
We can't even talk about it. We don't want somebody to steal the idea.
It does not exist. That's how important this is.
Only for our Patreons will continue this conversation. All right. Well,
doesn't exist.
Very quickly, let me end with this because I felt a level of anger I haven't felt in some time last night because I've been getting really into the retro gaming because of the emulator we talked about last week, Delta. Yeah. I've been just playing those games that I played as a kid, Mario 64, Pokemon Snap, NFL Blitz. I downloaded Super Smash Brothers tonight. Just having lots of fun. But it's physically hard to play the games because my hands have to like wrap around a certain way.
Yeah.
And
I tried playing GoldenEye. I couldn't do it.
Oh, forget it. Because the N64 controller was ridiculous from the start with that.
It was.
The joystick in the middle. Like, how were you ever? You're supposed to hold out your thumb.
I had a way to do it, which was perfect. I had a way to do it with that game, which was perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you can't do it on your phone.
Game. You cannot. No.
And also, I don't like not being able to feel the buttons. Like, I keep missing the buttons because there's nothing to feel on the screen. So like it's not a great experience. So there are companies that make controllers. You can just use a Bluetooth controller for this. So I ordered one. I got the what's it called? The Backbone. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna I'm up in my game. I'm a gamer now. Yeah. So it comes. Is Amazon same day delivery. It's it arrives while we're watching Princess Bride. So I have to like scoot away to some light so I can open it. And I tried jamming my phone into this thing, and it's not fitting. I'm like, I got to take the case off. So I take the case off. It's still not fitting. And I'm like, in this box, there's a little like adapter for like making, it's like for the sides where it holds the phone. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe my phone's the wrong side. I swap those out. And then I realized that the port, the male end is it's not a lightning connection port. And I'm like, the fuck is this? It's like, it's for the iPhone. So I go back to the listing that I purchased, and it was like for the iPhone 15 or iPhone whatever we're on, USB-C, because because of that lawsuit, iPhone had to change their charging port from the lightning connection to USB-C. So I got the wrong model. So it's unusable for me.
That's unfortunate.
I got to return it because I used my Amex points to buy it, and I don't want to use real money to buy it, so I gotta wait to get my refund and then buy the right one. So I can't tell you the level of fury that I felt. I was like, finally I can do this, and then I couldn't, and I'm just like, it's my fault, and I'm so mad at myself.
Your level of fury, it's only met by my level of fury for Mother's Day Bluey merchandise, customizable.
Oh my God,
Mother's Day Bluey merchandise.
Yes.
So,
please tell us.
I should. I don't even know how to like frame this so I don't sound like a crazy intolerant person. However,
okay.
So Mother's Day's coming up.
Sure.
I get a lot of stuff on my feeds, social feeds, Facebook, Instagram, everything for customizable.
Yes.
Bluey, anything. Your mom is great.
Is it official? Is it from Bluey?
So
or
you
like
sent me that photo where it's like a kid's puzzle or whatever it says. A puzzle for a child.
No, it says a puzzle for kid.
A puzzle for kid.
Which is not how you would phrase that.
No,
if this was like
so this
made
is
by
as
English
far as I'm
speaking,
concerned, this is coming
English
from
as your
Temu.
first language.
Right.
Producer, yeah.
So realistically, you get Chili, the mom, Bingo, and Bluey, both female characters. But then in the show, but then
canonically are female.
Customizable, you say mom, and then you have the name of your children. But what if your children's name they put your children's name as Patrick and they put it under the Bluey character? I'm not a fan
Patrick's
of that.
A girl now.
I don't
Patrick's
care
a
for
girl
it.
now.
I don't care for it.
I do feel
and then,
like
if you have multiple, if you have more than two, you have three, and they just tack on another Bluey. Or they tack
another
on another
Bluey?
Bingo. And you're
they
like...
just copy and paste?
What? You're like, what? And I'm not going to say, here's the thing. You get into Father's Day, and they've got, like, the Dadalorian. Like, last year they had the Dadalorian shirts, and then they just had multiple Grogus. It's like, how many Grogus is this Dadalorian taking care of?
I don't think there are that many Grogus in the Star Wars universe. Like, there's Yoda, Yaddle, and Grogu. I don't think there are any more.
No, that's fine. That's how it should be. But yeah,
so you're saying
it's like,
that it's shoddy workmanship?
It's shoddy. There are individuals out there that take the time to make customizable, character specific images. So they'll take you, or they'll take the dog that you want to represent, and they'll animate you and make you look like a character from Bluey.
But are those more expensive? Because
I don't care. I say it because you know what? There's a photo of me and my wife and my kids, and we're all dressed like Mandalorians, and it's a great thing, and it makes sense.
Oh, like someone photoshopped you on there?
We're not Photoshopped. We were like illustrated on. It was a great gift.
Oh, they drew you.
Did I not send you that photo?
No, I remember now. I just didn't know it was like original artwork.
I'm just saying that it's a cheap way of doing things.
When you're buying, here's our message. When you're buying your third party product that is not official from these companies for mom, spend the extra money to get a male dog if you're representing a boy. Now, is there a male character in the Blueyverse who is also what are they, Australian Shepherds, or what are they?
Yeah, let's call them Australian Shepherds or Australian sheepdogs, whatever.
Sheepdog, yeah. Does that character exist?
I would say no.
And does it look any different? Would it look any different? Would the boy look any different?
I'd say no, but like I'm
going to attach this whole argument.
I'm going to attach photos and examples and send them along to you to
Maybe
assist.
It is different this whole time. Maybe they changed a spot, and someone's going to write back very mad and be like, "Actually, I went through the painstaking process of changing the spots on this character, so it's not actually Bluey." It's whatever.
Just like Bluey.
A male.
Multiple Blueys. Multiple Blueys.
Multiple Blueys. Too many Blueys.
Blue
wow.
dog. That's my rant.
It's a good one. It's a good rant. I think it'll
it just
resonate.
I had to silence it. I've had to silence a lot of things on Facebook recently. Mostly Bluey stuff. Ads? It's obnoxious.
What's this Bluey meal prep and you get a Bluey toy? Did you ever get that one?
I have seen that. Yeah. An associate of mine today was like, I need to get the Bluey cookbook. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And they're like, so I can make pavlova. And I'm like, just look up a recipe on the internet.
Right.
Why are cookbooks a thing? It's taking up space.
I know. People like to have a physical thing.
I don't know why.
It's a good gift. It's a good gift. You can't gift an ebook.
Put it on your Kindle, and it's there. You get one book, one little thing, and then
so you're coming out against physical books. It's a waste of space, a waste of resources. You're tearing down these trees to make these damn books. Just put it on a Kindle.
Don't. I'm going after cookbooks. I feel like you know what though? I don't know. Yeah, I've got a weird relationship with recipes in general, just because it's like I guess I'd prefer the cookbook because then it doesn't have the obnoxious story of the recipe in the cookbook. I just want the recipe.
You talking about websites now?
If you go to a website and you type in I want to learn a quiche Lorraine, and then you type in quiche Lorraine, and then you go to the first hit you get, and then it's paragraphs of your grandmother's recipe going all the way down. And, we always did it on Sunday, and she always used rendered bacon fat. And then the eggs were locally sourced from a farm that my grandfather helped create. And then all of a sudden you're like, I don't even want the quiche Lorraine by the time I find all the ingredients. You're like, I just want the ingredients.
Do you know why they do that, though?
Why?
Because you have to be on a website for a certain amount of time to register, so you get paid. So if you just jump on there and copy and paste the recipe, it's not gonna make them any money.
Everything's got some sort of thing attached to it, man.
That's it though. Everything comes back to ads. God. Can't sell ads for people being on your website for 10 seconds.
Just want the recipe, people.
Just want the recipe. All right, very good. Anything else for this big week?
I can't think of anything.
I think that
soldiered through all of it. It's a big show.
All of it. Big show. Next week, I don't know. I guess maybe Sunday, maybe with some more stuff at the Chicago Comic-Con we'll hear about.
Maybe.
But it'll seem like old news. Anything that happens on Monday, unless you're Power Rangers, we don't talk about you.
What do we got? We didn't even talk about X-Men, which is funny.
No, I know. It was too bad.
But that's okay.
There'll be plenty.
We got a sneak peek as to what we got. The villain reveal, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
We got the
captions. I knew who he was. Otherwise,
we got the shaving, the end of shaving Magneto to one-eyed purple.
That was
people
weird.
Eater, which was just what's
I don't feel like it was
here?
animated properly. Like nothing disappeared as he moved.
Yes,
the laser
it's like la la la.
There's some weird stuff. Like this, some of these, if you take them out of context, some of them is very strange.
Did you see? Just to talk about it real quick, the battle with Bolivar Trask at the end, where he reveals himself as a sentinel. Didn't that whole scene with them fighting? Did you ever watch the first episode of Invincible?
Yeah.
Where Omni-Man beats up or kills her. It looked framed just like that. It
might be. Somebody pointed out that the fight scene in the Deadpool trailer between
we didn't talk about that
Deadpool,
either.
I know, there's all this stuff.
Dang.
That the fight scene in the trailer is frame for frame, or is like, move for move the same as the fight scene from Spider-Man. One of his fights. I don't know who was fighting Spider-Man. I forget.
Oh, he was fighting against Flash Thompson, wasn't he?
That's right. That's exactly what it was.
The Tobey Maguire.
Moving out of the way.
Yes.
So it would not shock me at all if it was taken from that. Yeah.
All right. Very good.
We'll talk about. I mean, there's time to talk about Deadpool in the future. We'll save that for a less busy week because there's a lot to break down and potential things from that. But I guess for this week.
Ghostbusters stole the show.
Ghostbusters, and Power Rangers,
Yeah.
Well, I forget how this ends. What do I say? Anything else for this big week?
No.
All right. Well, you know what they say. We don't want to grow up, but we already do. No, that's wrong. You threw me off. I was ready. Anything else for this big week? No. All right, everybody. All right, that's what it is. All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.